Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing good. So today, without any further delay, we are going to start today's class. So let's begin. Okay, let's begin without any further delay. So in my last class, if you guys remember, we had spoken at length. Okay, in the last class, we had spoken at length about Buddhism, and we were almost over with Buddhism. So today, I'm going to start with Jainism, another very famous religion which is believed to have become very popular during the period of the age of Mahajanapadas. Okay, so before beginning today's class, before starting today's class, I'd like to share some valuable piece of information with you guys. That is, if you join these two groups, that is our WhatsApp group as well as the Telegram group, by joining these two groups, there we will be sharing the PPT of today's class will be shared in these two groups, and you can download the PPT of today's class by joining these two groups. And how will you join these two groups? The link in order to join these two groups has been shared in the description link below. So all you need to do is click on the description link, and that will take you to these two groups where you can join these two groups. Okay, also this thing is very important. The interview guidance program for APSC CCE 2022. This thing is very important because we have come up with this interview guidance program. It has got various legs and various aspects. Already it is underway. Already this guidance program has begun. Already we have conducted two very successful YouTube live sessions with two of the most prominent personalities of India. Okay, the first session was conducted by none other than Sri Robin Kolita, who is IRTS retired. He is the former director of IRCTC, and he has got a lot of experience under his belt. He was the former external member of the APSC interview board as well. Okay, that was the first session. We got a very good response for the first session. It went on very smoothly, and it was attended by many aspirants. Then we have conducted another session, and that particular session was conducted by a very renowned person of India. He is none other than Sri Anil Swarup sir. He is a retired IAS officer. He's also the former Coal Secretary of India, besides being the author of several well-known books. Okay, so these are the two legs which have which are done away with. These two legs of the interview guidance program is over, and we are coming up with many more legs. Okay, another, there will also be Sri Omyo Kumar Bora. He's also one of the members of the interview panel, okay, which is going to conduct the mock interviews very soon. And obviously the other people who are a part of this interview guidance program will be Sri Rajdeep Lekharu, who is the director of Civil Services Achievers Point. He has got a lot of experience. Then, of course, he will be accompanied by Sri Jepul Riz Kolita, who is the Senior Faculty of CSAP as well as the Department Head. And of course, I will be there. My name is Ijaz Ahmed. I am the Senior Faculty and Academic in charge of Civil Services Achievers Point. Okay, and as you can see here, this IGP, this IGP will include many things, like for example, one-to-one individual profiling session. We will individually talk with the students, and we will try to gain an insight into what they are, what are they made up of, we will try to read their minds, and we will try to get hold of their strengths and weaknesses. Okay, and after having an interaction with them, we will tell them the best way forward. That is known as profiling. To read somebody's minds, to evaluate somebody based on what they tell us. Now, then of course there will be multiple online and offline seminar workshop sessions. Point number 2 has already started. Then of course important current affairs discussion classes by senior faculties of CSAP. Then of course we'll be sharing a lot of PDF materials as part of this interview guidance program. And last but not the least, there will be this one-to-one mock interview sessions with esteemed panelists. And this is the panel, this is the interview panel which will grace the occasion. We will take mock interviews of the candidates who will appear for the interview or the final stage of the APAC CCE 2022. Okay, now see, this was the aspect I was talking about. This was the first session, this was the first leg of the interview guidance program, which was conducted on 25th of August, and it went on very smoothly, and it was a huge success. Okay, so without any further delay, let's talk about Jainism. Okay, let's talk about Jainism. I hope all of you are doing good. See, now if we talk about Jainism, now see, Jainism, we already know quite a few things about Jainism. Okay, we already know quite a few things about Jainism. Okay, good evening everyone. We already know quite a few things about Jainism. See, Jainism, like Buddhism, Jainism is also very important. Like Buddhism, Jainism is also very, very important. The first thing that we need to know, okay, the first thing, see, and Buddhism as well as Jainism, they both the religions belong to the same time period. Both the religions belong to the same time period, but according to Jain text, according to Jain religious texts, they believe that their religion is much older than Buddhism. But then the question arises as to why we are reading about Jainism in the age of Mahajanapadas. We are studying about Jainism during the age of, or as part of the age of Mahajanapadas, because Mahavir Jain, who is believed to be the 24th Tirthankara in Jainism, I will explain the meaning of Tirthankara in a bit from now, but he is the most important, at least for the historians, at least from a historical point of view. Mahavir Jain was the most important Tirthankara of Jainism. And Mahavir Jain was a contemporary of Lord Buddha. Mahavir Jain, Lord Buddha, okay, Makali Gosal, Bimbisara, they all belong to the same time period. They all belong to the same time period, which makes Mahavir Jain, or that is the reason why we are studying about Jainism as part of the age of Mahajanapadas and not before this. Okay, so talking about Jainism, okay, যদি মই আপোনালোকক জেইনিজমৰ বিষয়ে ক'বলৈ যাওঁ, তেন্তে জেইনিজম এনেকুৱা এটা ধৰ্ম, আমি কিছুমান বৈশিষ্ট্য জানিব লাগিব। ওকে, জেইনিজমৰ আমি কিছুমান বৈশিষ্ট্য জানিব লাগিব। এক নম্বৰ, ওকে, the first point, ওকে, প্ৰথম পইণ্ট যোনটো আমি জানিব লাগিব about Jainism is that Jainism believes in the concept of half cycles. Jainism, it believes in the concept of the half cycles. Jainism e eta concept ot believe kore, the name of that thing is half cycles. Etia mane Jainism tells us that time runs in half cycles. Homoy. Okay, what is the idea of time according to Jainism? Jainism informs us, Jainism e koi je time runs in half cycles. Time, homoy keneke homoy ghure in the form of half cycles. Half cycles. Etia half cycles hole, okay, time runs in half cycles. Now a half cycle, okay, let's take the example of one half cycle. Hey, half cycle tor eta part ki hoy? Okay, hey, half cycle tor eta part hoy period of okay, আপোনালোকে ক'ব পাৰে period of goodness. Okay, period of goodness, আমি ইয়াকে কি কওঁ? আমি ইয়াকে কওঁ উৎসৰ্পিনী। আমি ইয়াক কওঁ উৎসৰ্পিনী আৰু এটা হল period of decline or upsarpini. মানে জেনিজমে কি বিলিভ কৰে যে টাইম রানস ইন হাফ সাইকেলস আৰু প্ৰতিটো হাফ সাইকেলত দুটা পিৰিয়ড থাকে ওকে প্ৰতিটো হাফ সাইকেলত দুটা কৰি পিৰিয়ড থাকে এটা পিৰিয়ড যেতিয়া সকলো বস্তু পাৰফেক্ট there is nothing wrong happening everything is perfect সেই পিৰিয়ডটোক আমি কি কওঁ উৎসৰ্পিনী যেতিয়া সকলো বিলাক পাৰফেক্টলি ধৰক যেতিয়া একো ক্ৰাইম নাই যেতিয়া একো ভায়োলেন্স নাই everything is good about that period utsarpini can also be compared with the with the saitya yug of Hinduism okay utsarpini ami Hinduism or juntu saitya yugor juntu concept ase tar logot ami compare koribo paru when everything is good when everything is virtuous aru eta period hoi gol period of decline so kinu Jainism loge loge etu koy je period of goodness hodai continue nokore শেষ হ'ব আৰু after every period of goodness কাৰণ এটা সাইকেল হয় okay cycle by definition itself it keeps on what it keeps on rotating okay it keeps on changing so period of goodness যোনটো উৎসৰ্পিনী প্ৰতিটো উৎসৰ্পিনী শেষ হোৱাৰ পিছত আন এটা period start হয় period of decline আমি যাক upsarpini বুলিও কওঁ okay that is the period of decline যেতিয়া and upsarpini is something which can be compared with the Kali Yuga of Hinduism when everything is going down the drain when everything goes down the drain or everything goes to the dogs mane everything bad is happening okay nothing good is happening everywhere corruption is happening crime is happening so right now according to Jainism we are living in one of the upsarpini cycles okay we are living in one of the time periods one of the upsarpini time periods ako upsarpini hek hoar pisot again utsarpini will start so this thing will continue okay this thing will continue for a long time to come okay after every utsarpini you will get to see upsarpini after the end of every upsarpini again utsarpini will start so Jainism believes in such a concept okay so Jainism believes in such a concept this is the first thing that we need to know now if I talk about the next thing so Jainism believes in something known as okay you need to before studying about Jainism you need to be familiar with certain words okay you need to be familiar with certain words like I say Jainism believes in the concept of tirthankara okay this is tirthankara Jainism it believes in the concept of tirthankara now what is the literal meaning of tirthankara see be it utsarpini or be it upsarpini okay I'm just taking a step backward because I need to share something with you guys in every utsarpini and in every upsarpini in every utsarpini and in every upsarpini Jainism believes that 24 tirthankaras will come to this planet okay what did I just say be it every utsarpini or be it every upsarpini let's focus on upsarpini now because right now we are living in upsarpini we are living in one of the upsarpini time periods right we are living in a period of decline as per Jainism so this upsarpini has witnessed the arrival of 24 tirthankaras and every half cycle okay be it utsarpini be it upsarpini every time period witnesses the arrival of 24 tirthankaras so this time period this is this upsarpini or the time period we are living in it has also witnessed the arrival of 24 tirthankaras okay I just wanted to share with you guys before proceeding further now that I just say tirthankaras now we have to know the meaning of tirthankaras so Jainism so we need to focus on why knowing the meaning of tirthankara is important because Jainism pays the utmost amount of importance to tirthankaras in Jainism no one is above the tirthankaras So if no one is above the Tirthankaras, not even gods are above the Tirthankaras. So we have to know the meaning of Tirthankara. Okay, so Tirthankara, the literal meaning of Tirthankara is ford maker. Okay, the literal meaning of Tirthankara is what? Ford maker, F-O-R-D, ford maker. What is the meaning of ford? F-O-R-D, ford means, bridge. Okay, ford, it is some kind of a bridge. So, why are we calling Tirthankara a ford maker? Or why am I just saying that Tirthankara means ford maker? So, some of you may have realized already. If the meaning of ford is bridge, okay, if the meaning of ford is bridge, then Tirthankara is such a, is such an individual. Tirthankara is such an individual who is making a bridge. And what is the purpose of a bridge? Purpose of a bridge is to help you cross from one side to another side. Okay, bridge by definition itself is that structure which helps you cross from one side to another side. Tirthankaras are those individuals which connect these two sides. Which two sides? So just like a bridge, Tirthankara is also connecting two things. Just like a bridge connects two pieces of, just like it connects two pieces of land, two ends, just like it connects two ends, Tirthankara is also connecting, is also building a bridge. Okay, Tirthankara is also building a bridge. Here you have to take it metaphorically. Literally, he is not constructing a bridge, but he is simply acting as a bridge between these two ends. He is taking people from this side. Okay, he is taking people from this side to the other side. And what is this side and what is the other side? This side is the period of, or this side is the side of materialism. The period or the time or the age we are living in, materialism, the world of materialism is this side. So he is taking the people, from, or he's helping the people living in the world of materialism to go to the other side. Okay, so in simple words, he's helping the people living in the world of materialism go to the other world, which is not about materialism, which is what? Which is salvation. Okay, which is salvation. So Tirthankaras are those individuals who act as bridges, who help people, who help people make the transition, you can say, who help people make the transition from the world of materialism to the world of nirvana or salvation. Okay, so they act as a bridge. They help them cross this bridge. They act as a bridge, and they act as a bridge, and they help them. Okay, the Tirthankaras help the people cross, or you can say they help the people make this journey. So this is very, very important. Okay, so that is the literal meaning of Tirthankara. Okay, that is the literal meaning of Tirthankara. He is a fort maker. So I hope you guys understood the meaning of Tirthankara. Tirthankara is a person who is helping, or who helps people make the journey from the world of what? From the world of materialism to the world of nirvana. Okay, those individuals are known as Tirthankara. So Jainism believes that the period in which we are living in, this Apsarpini, or the period of decline, this period of decline has also seen the arrival of 24 Tirthankaras. And Mahavir Jain obviously is the 24th and the last Tirthankara. Okay. So anyway, so that is the meaning of Tirthankara. And Tirthankaras, always keep one thing in mind. Okay, always please keep one thing in mind. Tirthankaras are the most important in Jainism. The utmost amount of respect and importance. In Jainism, the utmost amount of respect and importance is paid to Tirthankaras. Okay, in Jainism, the utmost amount of respect, the utmost amount of importance is paid to Tirthankaras. Even the gods are not as important as Tirthankaras in Jainism. The gods are placed below Tirthankaras. That is the, that is the position. Okay, that is the position enjoyed by Tirthankaras in Jainism. That is the position enjoyed by Tirthankaras in Jainism. Now let's focus on Jina. Okay, that is the meaning of Tirthankara. Now, Jaina means what? See, you may have seen a lot of Jain people. You may have seen a lot of Jain people using the surname Jain behind their names. They write Jain behind their names. Okay, the word Jain has come from Jaina. Jaina. Okay, Jaina. You may call it Jaina or Jaina. Okay, they have, they have truncated that particular word to Jain. It means the same, Jain. Now, what is the meaning of Jaina or Jain or Jaina? What is the meaning of that word? The meaning of that word is it refers to a person. Okay, this is considered, or this can be considered to be a title, some kind of a title, and this title is given to such a person. Who is a Jaina? A Jaina or a Jaina is such a person who has conquered himself. Who has conquered himself. Okay, a Jaina or Jaina is such a person who has conquered himself. Now, what is the meaning of that? So, apunar hotruk, okay, apunar hotruk horuatu iman tan kam nohoy. Ba beleg manhuok horuatu beleg iman tan kam nohoy. Belegok horuatu, belegok outpace kora ba outshine kora, belegot koi bhal perform kora, hebilak iman tan kam nohoy. মই মানিছো ইমান ইজি কাম নহয়, কিন্তু ইম্পসিবল মানে বহুত বেছি টান কাম নহয়। আটাইতকৈ টান কাম কি জানেনে? আটাইতকৈ টান কাম হৈছে আপোনালোকৰ নিজৰ যোনখিনি, আমাৰ নিজৰ যোনখিনি বেয়া গুণ, সেই বেয়া গুণখিনি কনকার কৰা আটাইতকৈ বেছি টান কাম। The most difficult thing in this planet, the most difficult thing to do in this planet is to conquer your own vices. Is to conquer your own vices, is to control your desires, is not to get tempted into doing something which should not be done in the first place. That is very hard, extremely hard. Okay, it may be sounding, it may sound easy, but it's not at all easy. So Jaina is that person who has conquered himself, who is in total charge of his senses. He does not get driven by what his senses ask him to do. He does not get driven by what his senses ask him to do. Instead, he tells his senses what to do and what not to do. The senses, the eyes, ear, nose, everything. He is in total control of all the senses, of all the organs. The senses do not control him. He controls the senses. The senses do not order him. He orders the senses. So he's in total charge. And a person who is in total charge of all his senses or her senses, who can defeat such a person? So Jaina is that person who has conquered himself, who has conquered all his vices, and who is in total control of his senses. That person is a Jaina. Okay? Okay, and the meaning of Arhat, okay, and the meaning of Arhat, it's not Arhat actually, this should have been Arihant. Just one second. Arhat is a concept in Buddhism. Okay, Arihant or Arhant, okay, this and Jaina, they all mean the same. So these are certain words which you need to keep in mind. Tirthankara, Jaina, Arhant. Only then we can proceed further. Now that we know the meanings of these important words, we can easily proceed further. Okay, we can easily proceed further. See, now, a short while ago, I talked about 24 Tirthankaras. Okay, Jainism says that in this Avsarpini got to see how many Tirthankaras? This Avsarpini got to see 24 Tirthankaras. And I'm talking about this Avsarpini, the Avsarpini we are living in, this particular Avsarpini. How many Tirthankaras it saw? 24 Tirthankaras. And out of these 24 Tirthankaras, okay, the first Tirthankara, out of these 24 Tirthankaras, the first Tirthankara is, okay, Rishabdev or Rishabdev. Okay, the first Tirthankara is Rishabdev. Rishabdev is also known as Adinath. Okay, he is the first Tirthankara. Rishabdev or Adinath. He is the first Tirthankara. See, Homen, the meaning of Jaina is very simple. One who has conquered himself. বেলেগক হৰুৱাটো একেবাৰে ইজি. নিজক হৰুৱাব লাগে. নিজৰ যোনবিলাক বেয়া গুণ সেইবিলাকক পৰাস্ত কৰিব লাগে. নিজৰ যোনবিলাক তোমাৰ চকুকিটাক তুমি নিজে কন্ট্ৰোল কৰিব শিকিব লাগিব. তোমাৰ মুখখনক নিজে একদম টোটাল মানে মুখখনে তোমাৰ কথা মতে চলে. তুমি মুখখনৰ কথা মতে নচলা. চকুকিটা তোমাৰ কথা মতে চলে. তুমি চকুকিটাৰ কথা মতে নচলা. So, তোমার desires, expectations, they do not propel you, they do not drive you. You control them. You have total control over all your expectations, desires, everything. That kind of a person is known as Jaina, who has conquered himself. Nijoke horwa mane ki, who is in total charge of him. Okay, that person who is in total charge of himself is known as Jaina. Okay, so anyway, I hope you got the answer to your question. So first Tirthankara in Jainism mein koi hai? First Tirthankara was Rishabdev, or he is also known as Adinath. He is also known as Adinath. Okay, he is a very important person. Rishabdev is a very important figure. He is a very, very important Tirthankara, although we do not have any historical records. Okay, talking from the point of view of history, I am not talking from the point of view of religion. Okay, I'm strictly talking from the point of view of history. There are no historical evidences to show that Rishabdev actually existed. Till today, we do not have any historical evidence. In fact, we do not have much historical evidence about the first 22nd Tirthankaras. 22 number Tirthankara zoner loike amar hatot bikhek eku historical evidence nai for the first 22 Tirthankaras, but we have got ample historical evidence for the 23rd and 24th Tirthankara. 23 number zonoru evidence ase, historical evidence, aru Lord Mahavir Jainor kotha to koboi nalage. We have got ample evidence, historical evidence. Kintu anyway, even then Rishabdev is important for us. Karon Rishabdev or Adinath, he has been mentioned in Rig Veda. He has been mentioned in Rig Veda. The only Tirthankara, if the examination asks you that who is that Tirthankara who has found a mention in Rig Veda, the answer will be Adinath. Okay, Adinath is the Tirthankara who has been mentioned in Rig Veda. And he is the first Tirthankara. And see, every Tirthankara in Jainism has a symbol. Okay, every Jain Tirthankara has an individual symbol. Mane prottek jon Tirthankara re ekko ekota symbol ase. And the symbol of Rishabdev was what? His symbol was bull. His symbol was bull. The symbol of Rishabdev was bull. Okay, the symbol of Rishabdev was bull. Now, moving forward. Okay, let's move forward. Now, see, the thing is that now that we know about Adinath, now we have to talk about, see, so Adinath was the first Tirthankara. Okay, Adinath was the first Tirthankara. Now, although we do not have much evidence about the 22nd Tirthankara, but yet we have to know the name of this 22nd Tirthankara, and his name was Neminath. His name was Neminath. He was the 22nd Tirthankara. His name was Neminath. Neminath was the 22nd Tirthankara. Then comes the 23rd. Then comes the 23rd Tirthankara. Now, like I said a short while ago, we have got enough historical evidence for the 23rd and 24th Tirthankara. Amar hatot enough historical evidence ase. Now, the 23rd Tirthankara's name was, the name of the 23rd Tirthankara was Parshvanath. The name of the 23rd Tirthankara was Parshvanath. Okay? The name of the 23rd The name of the 23rd Tirthankara was Parshvanath. Okay, Parshvanath. And obviously, the name of the 24th Tirthankara was Vardhaman Mahavir. Vardhaman Mahavir. Okay, Vardhaman was his original name, and later he got the title of Mahavir also. The literal meaning of Mahavir is the great hero. The great hero. Okay, this is the literal meaning of Mahavir. Okay, and as far as Parshvanath is concerned, we do not have to know much about him, but there are evidences. Okay, there are certain records. Okay, there are certain records which suggest. Okay, there are certain records which suggest that Mahavir or Vardhaman Mahavir Jain's parents. Okay, his parents, Mahavir's parents, they were followers of Parshvanath. Okay, there are certain records to suggest that Mahavir Jain's parents were followers of Parshvanath. Meaning they used to believe in the teachings of Parshvanath. And Parshvanath, Parshvanath existed 200 years, around 200 years before Mahavir Jain. Okay, Parshvanath existed, or Parshvanath used to preach around 200 years. So the point I'm trying to make here is there's a time gap. There's a time gap of around 200 years between Parshvanath and Mahavir Jain. Okay, there's a time gap of around 200 years between Parshvanath and Mahavir Jain. So anyway, now we need to focus mainly on Mahavir Jain, because like I said, Mahavir Jain is the most important Tirthankara out of the 24 Tirthankaras. In terms of what? In terms of or from the point of view of history. From the point of view of history, because he was a contemporary of Lord Buddha. Okay, now let's focus on Mahavir Jain. Okay, let's focus on Mahavir Jain. Now see, Mahavir Jain's story is very similar to that of Gautam Buddha. Okay, it is quite similar to that of Gautam Buddha, and you will also find many common points, or you will also find many similarities between Lord Buddha and Mahavir Jain. For example, both of them were from royal palace. Okay, both of them were from a royal family, not royal palace. Both of them were from a royal family. Both of them were princes. Both of them were princes. Now let's focus on Mahavir Jain. Mahavir Jain is said to have, he left his, like Gautam Buddha left his palace at the age of 29, Mahavir Jain left his palace in search of the ultimate truth at the age of 30. He left his palace in search of the ultimate truth. So Mahavir Jain was also not very happy with his life. So he left his palace at the age of 30 in search of the ultimate truth. And it is said that he kept on wandering for 12 years. He kept on wandering for 12 years, for 12 long years. Okay, 12 বছৰৰ কাৰণে তেখেত ঘূৰি ফুৰিল in search of the ultimate truth. He led the life of an ascetic and he wandered about. Okay, এঠাইৰ পৰা আন ঠাইলৈ, okay, এঠাইৰ পৰা আন ঠাইলৈ তেখেত ঘূৰি থাকিল 12 বছৰৰ কাৰণে. Okay, 12 বছৰৰ কাৰণে তেখেত এঠাইৰ পৰা আন ঠাইলৈ ঘূৰি ফুৰিল. He kept on wandering from one place to another. And ultimately, after those 12 years, okay, after those 12 years, finally, after the end of those 12 years, he is said to have attained. ঠিক আছে, আমি যেনেকৈ গৌতম বুদ্ধৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত we use the word enlightenment. We do not use the same word with respect to Lord Mahavir. Okay, so after the end of these 12 long years, finally, Lord Mahavir attained Kaivalya. After the end of 12 long years, after the end of 12 long years, he is said to have attained Kaivalya. Okay, Mahavir Jain is said to have attained Kaivalya. Kaivalya means what? In English, we can call it omniscience. Kaivalya. Or in simple words, you can call it the ultimate truth. This is what he was looking for. The ultimate, okay, the ultimate truth with the help of which, one can break the cycle of life and death. See, I'm talking about the same thing again and again because this is the ultimate objective in Hinduism, Jainism as well as Buddhism, to break the cycle of life and death. To break this cycle of life and death. And how can you break it? You need to have the knowledge. You need to have the knowledge. So when we speak about Buddhism, that knowledge is enlightenment. Okay. Nibbana. Okay. Buddha got that enlightenment at the age of 35 and he died. When he died at the age of 80, he is said to have broken that cycle of life and death as per Hinian form of Buddhism. So similarly, Mahavir Jain attained Kaivalya. So Mahavir Jain attained Kaivalya, after he left his palace at the age of 30 and he kept on wandering for 12 years. So that will make him how many years old? That will make him 42 years old. Okay, that will make him 42 years old. So at the age of 42, at the age of around 42, Lord Mahavir is said to have attained Kaivalya. Okay, this is also a very important word. Kaivalya, the ultimate truth. This is what he was looking for. Okay, or the only truth. Whatever you may call it. So finally at the age of 12 years, he attained Kaivalya. Now see, after attaining Kaivalya, now Mahavir Jain finally attained Kaivalya. Now why or how Kaivalya is supposed to be attained? How can one attain Kaivalya? How can one attain Kaivalya? Now Kaivalya, this is something which is very interesting actually. Now see, Kaivalya is something Mahavir Jain talks about. Okay, Mahavir Jain talks about Three Ratna. Mahavir Jain talks about Three Ratna of Jainism. Okay, Three Ratna or three jewels. Right faith, right action, right knowledge. Right faith, right action, right knowledge. These are the three jewels of Jainism. These are the three jewels of Jainism. Just like we have got the three jewels of Buddhism, these are the three jewels of Jainism. Am I clear? So these are the three jewels of Jainism: right faith, right action, and right knowledge. And Mahavir Jain said that if you follow these three, or if you incorporate these three principles in your life, with the help of these three principles, you will be attained, or you will be able to attain, or you will be able to achieve Kaivalya. Okay, you will be able to achieve Kaivalya by following the Three Ratna. So Three Ratna of Jainism can be compared with what? The Eightfold Path of Buddha. Okay, it can be compared with the Eightfold Path given by Gautam Buddha. Now anyway, so let's move forward. This is not the end of it. Okay, now what happens after an individual attains Kaivalya? Let's say by following the Three Ratna of Jainism, by implementing the principles in their life, an individual has attained Kaivalya. Now what after that? What happens after that? Okay, what happens after an individual attains Kaivalya? Now after an individual attains Kaivalya, okay, what is the path being shown by Mahavir Jain? What is the path being shown by Lord Mahavir Jain? After an individual attains Kaivalya, Lord Mahavir tells, okay, or Mahavir Jain tells that that individual has to, because see, Kaivalya is supposed to be the ultimate truth, and that is what every individual is supposed to look for. Okay, ideally that is what every Jaina is supposed to look for. That is what every follower of Jainism, I'm so sorry, that is what every follower of Jainism is supposed to look for, Kaivalya. Once he or she attains Kaivalya, Mahavir Jain tells that those individuals who have attained Kaivalya, they should begin preparations to end their life, because they have already got what they wanted from this life. They have already got what they wanted from this life. They have attained Kevalya. There can be no better thing than that. Now that they have attained Kevalya, now they have to begin preparations to end their life in a particular manner. That manner or that method has also been prescribed by Jainism or by Mahavir Jain. Okay, what did I just say? After an individual attains Kevalya, he or she should begin preparations to end their life. Okay, he or she should begin preparations to end their life. Okay, he or she should begin preparations to end their life in a particular method, in a particular manner. They cannot end their life anyway. They cannot end their life any which way. They cannot end their life in a way they like. They have to follow a particular procedure. They have to follow a particular method. They have to follow what? They have to follow a particular method or procedure, and that method or procedure is known as what? That method or procedure is known as method or procedure is known as Salekhan. Or you can also call it Santhara. Okay? That method or procedure is known as Salekhan or Santhara. What is this method? Okay, what is this method or procedure? This method or procedure is the way an individual is supposed to die. It is the way an individual is supposed to die after he or she attains what? This is the way an individual is supposed to die after he or she attains Salekhan. After he or she attains Kevalya. Kevalya attain korar pisot, this is the way an individual has to take his life. Okay, they have to take their own life. They have to take their own life, but they cannot just go and commit suicide. They cannot just jump from a building. They cannot just jump in front of a truck. They cannot just stand in front of a train and allow the train to run over them. They cannot do all that kind of stuff. Okay, they cannot do all that kind of stuff. They have to, yes, they have to end their life. They have to take their own life, but there is a method, there is a prescribed format, and that prescribed format is known as Salekhan or Santhara. Now, this is a very interesting practice. What is this Salekhan or Santhara? Salekhan or Santhara is, Salekhan or Santhara actually it consists of a few things. It is not just one thing. Salekhan or Santhara actually it consists of a few things. Okay, few things like, for example, self-torture, meditation, and obviously fasting. These are the three most essential things of Salekhan or Santhara. Mane, when an individual has decided that I will now perform Salekhan or Santhara, he has to perform Salekhan or Santhara, and these are the three main things that he has to do while he is performing Salekhan or Santhara. This obviously takes time. See, self-torture, he has to torture himself. He has to torture himself. And self-torture, by the way, self-torture is one of the most important. Jainism gives a lot of attention and a lot of importance to self-torture. Okay, self-torture. So self-torture forms an important part of Salekhan or Santhara. Obviously, while they are in that particular, while they are trying to take their own life, okay, while they are trying to take their own life, in adherence to this, they will also have to deeply meditate. Okay, they will also have to deeply meditate. They will also have to deeply meditate, and obviously they have to fast. And this fasting, by the way, is no normal fasting. This is a very strict kind of a fasting. And this fasting has also got multiple stages. I think around 12 or 13 stages. This fasting has got multiple stages, and each of the following stages, okay, the stages, they become tougher. Okay, every successive stage is tougher and more challenging than the previous stage. Okay, so this is Saleh Khan or Santhara, whereby an individual decides to take his own life after he or she has attained Kevalya. And this, by the way, Saleh Khan or Santhara is considered to be the most ideal way to die in Jainism. Okay, it is considered to be the most ideal way to die in Jainism. And remember these three words: self-torture, meditation, and fasting. For example, while they're in a state of fast, they will perform various acts of self-torture. Like, for example, they will plug their own hair. Okay, they will plug their own hair. Okay, then for example, they will clip their nails. So all these are self-torture, and it is believed that, they pay a lot of attention to self-torture. Maybe they believe that when we torture ourselves, it will purify our soul or something like that. But it's a very strongly held belief in Jainism. Now, I'm not saying all the modern Jain followers do this. Okay, this is something which cannot be done by everyone. Like I said, this can be done only by an individual who has attained Kevalya. Only after that, he can proceed to this particular stage. So it is not supposed to be done by each and every follower of Jainism. Okay. So anyway, so Saleh Khan or Santhara. By the way, this practice of Saleh Khan or Santhara was, in the first decade of 2000s. Okay, in the first decade of 2000, this practice was banned. A ban was put on this practice by the Rajasthan High Court. Okay, they called it a suicide. They called the practice of Saleh Khan or Santhara a suicide, and they had put a ban. They had imposed a ban on this practice. They had imposed the ban on this practice in the first decade of the 2000. In the first decade of the 2000, they had put a ban on this Saleh Khan or Santhara. Obviously, the Jain people or the followers of Jainism did not take this lying down. They were not happy with this. তাহাঁতি ভাল পোৱা নাছিল এনেকুৱা এটা সিদ্ধান্ত লোৱাৰ কাৰণে ৰাজস্থান হাইকোৰ্টে এনেকুৱা এটা সিদ্ধান্ত লোৱাৰ কাৰণে তাহাঁতি ভাল পোৱা নাছিল তাহাঁতি protest কৰিলে. They were not happy about this. So they started putting pressure on the Rajasthan High Court to take back its verdict. আপোনালোকে যোনটো ৰায় দিলে হেতু আপোনালোকে ঘূৰাই লওক. And ultimately Rajasthan High Court was bound to take its verdict back. Okay, Rajasthan High Court he verdict to ঘূৰাই ললে. So now it is no longer a banned practice. Etia hai ban to nai. Okay, Saleh Khanor oporot etia hai ban to nai. Okay, so anyway, so this is Saleh Khan or Santhara, a very, 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 very important part of Jainism. Now, moving further, let's talk a bit more about Mahavir Jain. Okay, let's talk a bit more about Mahavir Jain. If we talk about the childhood of Mahavir Jain, now his father's name, okay, the name of the father of Mahavir Jain, okay, the name of the father of Mahavir Jain was Siddharth. Siddharth, who was Siddharth? He was the father of Mahavir Jain. Siddharth was the father of Mahavir Jain. Okay, he was the father of Mahavir Jain, and his mother's name was Trishla. Okay, his mother's name was Trishala. Okay, his father's name was Siddharth and his mother's name was Trishala. They were the parents of Mahavir Jain. And Mahavir Jain, where was he born? He was, now in terms of the clan, in which clan was he born to? Okay, like Gautam Buddha was born to the Saikya clan. Which clan was Lord Mahavir born to? Lord Mahavir was born to a clan by the name of Natrika. Very, very important clan. Natrika clan. He was born to this clan by the name of Natrika. Okay? He was born to this clan by the name of Natrika. Now, what is the meaning of Natrika? What is the meaning of Natrika? He was born to this clan by the name of Natrika. Now, Natrika শব্দটোৰ অৰ্থ কি? Natrika শব্দটোৰ Natrika. Now, Natrika, why Natrika is important? Natrika is very important because মই আপোনালোকক Age of Mahajanapadasৰ বা এইখিনি যেতিয়া ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিছিলোঁ, then I told you that Age of Mahajanapadar সময়ত there were 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay, I also told you the names of certain sources which tell us about the 16 Mahajanapadas. ঠিক আছে? I also told you the sources from which we can say that there were as many as 16 Mahajanapadas. এই 16 Mahajanapadasৰ ভিতৰত, সেই 16খন Mahajanapadar ভিতৰত there was one Mahajanapada by the name of Vajji. Okay, out of those 16 Mahajanapadas, there was one Mahajanapada by the name of Vajji. And Vajjir speciality ki asile? Vajjir speciality etu asil saok, out of the 16 Mahajanapadas, most of the Mahajanapadas followed what? Followed the monarchical system. They were monarchies, mane where there used to be the king and all. Apnaloke jane, jot mane roja thake, centralized control. Most of the Mahajanapadas were following that particular political structure. Okay, most of the Mahajanapadas used to follow that kind of a political structure. But there were a few Mahajanapadas which were republics. Ami jak Gana Sangha boli ko, where several clans used to take decisions, where several clans had a say in the most important decisions they took. Where several clans had a say in the decision making process. So ami hebilakok jot mane rojar concept to nasile, centralized command, centralized authority nasil. So kisuman Mahajanapada tenekuao asile. Okay, tahator সংখ্যা কম আছিল কিন্তু তাহাতি এক্সিস্ট কৰিছিল। তাৰে হে তেনেকুৱা Mahajanapadasৰ ভিতৰৰ, okay, তেনেকুৱা Mahajanapadasৰ ভিতৰৰে এখন Mahajanapadar নাম আছিল Vajji. VAJJI, Vajji. আৰু Vajji এনেকুৱা এখন Mahajanapada আছিল, Vajji এনেকুৱা এখন Mahajanpad আছিল, এই Mahajanpadখনৰ ভিতৰত 8টা ক্লান আছিল, 8 clans. Okay, there were how many clans? There were 8 different clans. A Mahajanpadkhonor bhitorot there were 8 different clans. All the 8 clans put together was known as Vajji. ঠিক আছে? Vajji was made up of what? Vajji was made up of 8 different clans. মনত থব এইটো, Vajji was made up of 8 different clans. এই 8টা ক্লানৰ ভিতৰত এটা ক্লানৰ নাম কি আছিল? Natrika clan. So যদি কোৱেশ্চনত, যদি এক্সামত খুদে যে Mahavir Jain was born into which of the 16 Mahajanapadas, the answer will be Vajji. Vajji was the name of the Mahajanapada. And A Vajji re capital asil Vaishali. A Vajji re capital ki asil Vaishali. 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 In fact, Mahavir Jain or Janmo e Vaishali hoisil. Okay. Aru A Vajji Mahajanapadare এই 8টা ক্লানৰ ভিতৰত, ঠিক আছে, এই যে 8টা ক্লান আছিল Vajji Mahajanapadar আন্ডাৰত 8টা ক্লান আছিল, these 8 clans together form the Vajji Mahajanapada. এই 8টা ক্লানৰ ভিতৰৰ এটা ক্লানৰ নাম কি আছিল? 8টা ক্লানৰ ভিতৰৰ এটা ক্লানৰ নাম আছিল Natrika, আৰু Mahavir Jainৰ জন্ম এই ক্লানটোতে হৈছিল, Natrika ক্লানত। ইয়াৰে আন এটা ক্লানৰ হ'ব পাৰে Natrika ক্লানত Mahavir Jainৰ জন্ম হৈছিল, but the name of the most important clan out of these 8 clans, which was the most important clan? Lichavi বোলা এটা clan আটাইতকৈ বেছি পাৱাৰফুল আছিল। Vajjir clans বিলাকৰ ভিতৰত Lichavi clan was the most powerful, আৰু তাহাঁতি লিডাৰো আছিল। they played the role of a leader. South moi I'm using the word leader, not king, karon hebilakot Vajjit kingor concept to nasile, monarchy nasile. It was not a monarchy. So anyway, so moi ei kotha kobo khojisu je Lord Mahavir Jain was born into the Natrika clan aru apnaloke etia moi kolbe Natrika clan to কি আছিলে বজ্জিৰ পাৰ্ট এটা আছিল ওকে বজ্জিত 8টা ক্ল্যান আছিল হে 8টা ক্ল্যানৰ ভিতৰত এটা ক্ল্যান নাট্ৰিকাও আছিল আৰু the most powerful clan was লিচ্ছবি ওকে সো এনিৱে সো মহাবীৰ জৈনৰ জন্ম ক'ত হৈছিল he was born into a village by the name of Kundagram he was born into a village by the name of Kundagram okay Kundagram which is located in Vaishali আৰু আজিৰ তাৰিখত বৈশালী কোন আছে বিহাৰ northern part of Bihar okay he was born in Kundagram which is located in Vaishali which today is a part of Bihar so anyway yeah one more thing because Mahavir Jain was born into the Natrika clan যিহেতু তেখেতৰ জন্ম নাট্ৰিকা ক্ল্যানত হৈছিল ওকে যিহেতু মহাবীৰ জৈনৰ জন্ম নাট্ৰিকা ক্ল্যানত হৈছিল সেই কাৰণে ওকে যেহেতু মহাবীৰ জৈনৰ জন্ম নাট্ৰিকা ক্ল্যানত হৈছিল সেই কাৰণে he also came to be known as Nath Putta like Gautam Buddha was also known as Saikya Muni Mahavir Jain also came to be known as Nath Putta because he was born into the Natrika clan okay now like Rishabh Dev had the symbol of bull Mahavir Jain had the symbol of what was his symbol was tiger Mahavir Jain's symbol was tiger. Am I clear? Mahavir Jain's symbol was tiger. Okay, his symbol was tiger. The philosophy, okay. What is the philosophy of Mahavir? Okay, there's a name for it. Philosophy of Mahavir is known as what? Philosophy of Mahavir. What do we call the philosophy of Mahavir? Okay, what do we call the philosophy of Mahavir? Philosophy of Mahavir is known as Bhagavati Sutra. Okay, philosophy of Mahavir is known as Bhagavati Sutra. What is Bhagavati Sutra? Bhagavati Sutra is of course a Jain religious text. And what does it contain? It contains the philosophy of Mahavir Jain. Bhagavati Sutra contains the philosophy of Mahavir Jain. Okay, Bhagavati Sutra. What does Bhagavati Sutra contain? Bhagavati Sutra contains the philosophy of Mahavir Jain. ঠিক আছে আমি তাক Bhagavati Sutra বুলি কওঁ এতিয়া কথাটো হল now Mahavir Jain now see there is something called 5 vows in Jainism okay there is something called 5 vows in Jainism পাঁচটা প্ৰতিজ্ঞা লব লাগে so এতিয়া 5 vows in Jainism okay there is something called 5 vows VOWS 5 vows in Jainism and who is supposed to take these vows these vows are supposed to be taken by these 5 vows panchta pratigya are supposed to be taken by whom they are supposed to be taken by Jain monks they are supposed to be taken by Jain monks these 5 vows are supposed to be taken by Jain monks now what are these 5 vows number 1 Saitya Satya means truth. Number 2, Asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Non-stealing. Number 3, Ahimsa. Ahimsa, as we all know, it means non-violence. Non-violence. Number 4, Aparigriha. Aparigriha. Aparigriha means what? Non-possession. Non-possession of private property. Non-possession of private property. These are the 5 vows in Jainism. These are the 5 vows in Jainism which are supposed to be taken by the Jain monks, not by the lay followers. Okay, in every religion there can be 2 kinds of followers. One set of followers, but one kind is known as lay followers. Lay followers are like you and me. We are not monks, we are lay followers. We believe in a particular religion, but we are not monks. Okay, monks are those who dedicate their lives for the cause of religion. We have not dedicated our lives for the cause of religion. Okay, we are also doing many other things side by side. Although we believe in a particular religion, but we are also doing many things side by side. We are leading the life of a householder. Okay, we all are leading the life of a householder. We have a family. Okay, we have a family we go to. But the Jain monks are supposed to snap all those ties. They are not supposed to maintain any ties with their, family members and all. They are supposed to dedicate their life. The sole purpose of their life is to what? Is to propagate the ideas of their particular religion. So Jain monks. Okay, one kind is lay followers and the other kind is monks. And these 5 vows are supposed to be taken by Jain monks, not by the lay followers. Okay, I hope I am clear. Now these are the 5 vows. See, okay, these are the 4 vows and the 5th one. Okay, the 5th one is Brahmacharya. We all know the meaning of Brahmacharya, so I will not write the translation. Okay, I will not translate Brahmacharya into English because we all have a clear idea about what is the meaning of Brahmacharya. So these are the 5 vows. Satya, which means obviously truth. Okay, Satya. Asteya, so Jain monks are not supposed to lie. They cannot lie. Okay, they cannot steal. Asteya means non-stealing, so they cannot steal. They cannot commit any form of violence. Ahimsa, anyway, Jainism. See, because we are talking about the concept of non-violence. Okay, I would like to add something here itself. In Jainism pays a lot of attention, a hell lot of attention to non-violence. See, Buddhism also, Lord Buddha also talks about non-violence. Lord Buddha also tells us not to choose the path of violence. He tells us to be kind and compassionate. He tells us to be forgive. Okay, he tells us to forgive someone. Even if someone harms us, he asks us to forgive that individual. But the concept of non-violence, is, the concept of non-violence in Jainism is a bit different from the concept of violence in Buddhism. Okay, this can also be a question because both Gautam Buddha and Lord Mahavir talk about non-violence. But what are the differences between Gautam Buddha's non-violence and Mahavir's non-violence? See, non-violence in Jainism, okay, Mahavir Jain or Jainism gives a lot more importance to non-violence, or you can say that Jainism's idea of non-violence is a more extreme kind of an idea. Okay, Jainism's idea of non-violence is more extreme. It is more extreme than Buddha's idea of non-violence. How can we say that? We can say that because, see, if you look at the teachings of Lord Mahavir, if you look at the teachings of Jainism, যদি আপোনালোকে পঢ়ে যে Jainism actually শিকোৱা কি গৈছে, then, okay, for example, Lord Mahavir, he talked about, Lord Mahavir said that, Lord Mahavir said that Lord Mahavir, he made a distinction between biotic and non-biotic entities. Okay, biotic entities are the entities which have a life, as we all know. Okay, this is not what he said. He just made a distinction. He just said that be it biotic entities or be it non-biotic entities. Okay, general people like you and me, we think that non-biotic entities do not have a life. What is the meaning of abiotic? Okay, what is the meaning of abiotic entities? For example, rocks, rivers, hills. These are generally considered to be abiotic entities because they do not have a life. And on the other hand, we have biotic entities like, for example, animals, birds, human beings, ants. Okay, these are biotic. And the other side is non-biotic or abiotic. Now the thing is that Mahavir Jain said that be it biotic or be it abiotic. Be it biotic or be it abiotic, every entity has a life. So according to Lord Mahavir, even a mountain has a life, even a hill has a life, even a river has a life. And because they have a life, you are not supposed to cause any damage to them. You are not supposed to harm them. You are not supposed to damage their sanctity. Am I clear? You are not supposed to damage their sanctity. See, another example I will give you in order to make you guys understand how the idea of non-violence in Jainism is a bit more extreme. Because Jainism pays much attention to this non-violence. Okay. Jainism, in fact, it was not able to attract. It was not able to attract the producing class. Okay. If you look at the if you look at the work profile, if you look at the work profile of the followers of Jainism, you will not get to see many producing. You will not get to see many producers who produce something, who are into production for a living. Are you guys getting me? Apnaloke jodi sai Jainism kune follow kore, most of the people, if not all, most of the people, if not all, are traders. They are not producers. They are not into production. They are not into production. Tahati eku bostu produce no kore. They are into trading. Trade kora mane ki? Athai pra kine anthai goy bese. That is what trading is. They are not producers. Karon to kobo paribone? Okay, I am asking this question to you. Apnaloke jodi Jain followers bilak kok sai. Okay, I am sure you guys know many Jain followers. They live in towns and cities mostly. So Jain followers bilakor bhitorat besi bhag sobu hobo pare, but besi bhag jodiu ami dhorok azikali olop সময় বিলাক ফলনি হৈছে, এতিয়া হয়তো আপোনালোকে প্ৰডিউচাৰছ পাব পাৰে, কিন্তু মই কৈছো বেছি ভাগ বা অৰিজিনালি যেতিয়া জৈন ধৰ্মটো যেতিয়া মহাবীৰ জৈনৰ সময়ৰ কথা কৈছো বা তাৰ পিছৰ সময়খিনি কথা কৈছো, ঠিক আছে, তাৰ পিছৰ সময়খিনি কথা কৈছো, সেইখিনি সময়ত কি হৈছিল? সেইখিনি সময়ত প্ৰডিউচাৰছ বিলাক জৈনিজমে এট্ৰেক্ট কৰিব পৰা নাছিল, অকল ট্ৰেডাৰ্ছ বিলাকহে এট্ৰেক্ট কৰিছিল। ওকে, সো প্ৰডিউচাৰছ মানে কি? ফৰ এক্সাম্পল ধৰক even the farmers, okay, even the farmers are producers karon tahati food grains produce kore. So for example, farmers oke attract koribo pora nasil Jainism kihor karone, moi hetu hodisu Jainism kihor karone producing class ok attract koribo pora nasil is my question. Okay, please respond guys. Yes, Oman, you are right. So, এটা কথাটো হল কারণ Jainism is paying a lot of attention. Okay, it is emphasizing a lot. It is emphasizing a lot on the concept of non-violence. So, if a farmer, so we all know that during the agricultural process, okay, during the agricultural process, you have to end up killing a lot of creatures. You have to end up killing a lot of small creatures who live in the soil, because how can you not, you cannot do agriculture without killing those creatures knowingly or unknowingly. Most of the creatures will get killed unknowingly also. When you use tractor, a lot of creatures who live in the soil will get killed. When you till your field, a lot of creatures get killed. And Jainism is strictly against the idea of any kind of violence. Even that activity is a violent activity in the eyes of Jainism. And Jainism did not sanction it. It did not allow its followers. It did not sanction it. So because it was against that thing also, it could not attract the producing class. Because somebody has to produce. So the farmers, they deliberately stayed away from Jainism. The farmers and the producing class stayed away from Jainism. Hey Karone, the profession which they mostly chose, the profession which the followers of Jainism mostly chose was trading, because trading does not involve any production. Okay, they bring things from one place, or they buy things from one place, they sell those things to the people. Okay, that is what trading means. বুজি পাইছে মই কি কৈছো? So okay, so কথাটো হ'ল যে this is how we can say that the idea of non-violence in Jainism is a bit more extreme than the idea of non-violence in Buddhism. Karon Buddha allowed his followers to choose Buddha allowed his followers to join the producing class. Buddha's followers were from all ranks and from all kinds of profession. So this is another reason why Jainism perhaps could not become as popular as Buddhism in India. Okay, so because Jainism clearly it could not attract the producing class because of its overemphasis on non-violence. Okay, I'm not saying that its overemphasis on non-violence is bad. I'm no one to say that. It's not my place to say that. I'm just making a comparison between Buddhism and Jainism, which can be asked in the exam also. Now anyway, so that was ahimsa. Okay, that was ahimsa. Then aparigraha means non-possession of private property. So Jain monks are not supposed to be the owners of any private property. They are not supposed to be the owners of any private property. In fact, you can find a resemblance here. Okay, in fact, you can in this particular point, you can find a resemblance of Buddha's teachings also. Buddha strictly said this to the Buddhist monks. Buddha strictly said this to the monks, not to what? Not to stay at one place. He asked them to keep on wandering from place to place because he knew that if they start staying at one place, they will become greedy, they will get attached. And out of that attachment, they will feel like what? They will feel like amassing their own private property. He knew this. He knew this would happen. So he was against the idea. He was against the idea of monks staying at one place. That is why he gave the injunction of the monks. Okay? That is why he gave that injunction. That is why he instructed the monks to keep traveling throughout the year except for the rainy season. Okay, so anyway, so that is aparigraha. And the last one is brahmacharya, celibacy. They are not supposed to marry. And they are also not supposed to have any sexual relations, celibacy. Okay, brahmacharya. And we have to know another point as far as brahmacharya is concerned. Out of the five vows, only the fifth vow was added by Mahavir Jain. Okay, brahmacharya. The vow of brahmacharya was added by Lord Mahavir or Mahavir Jain. The vow of brahmacharya. Okay, only the fifth vow was added by Mahavir Jain. Anyways, let's move forward. Now, the thing is that the greatest contribution of Lord Mahavir in the field of philosophy, okay, in the field of philosophy, what is the greatest contribution of Lord Mahavir? Or some historians also consider this to be his biggest contribution. Mahavir Jain gave a very interesting concept and a highly relevant concept. Mahavir Jain gave this concept of anekantvad. Mahavir Jain gave this concept of Anekantvad. Okay, Anekantvad, if you translate this into English, it will be theory of many sides. Okay, if you translate Anekantvad into English, okay, it will be theory of many sides. Now, what is the meaning of Anekantvad? Okay, what is the meaning of Anekantvad? See, Anekantvad, Mahavir Jain was also a very practical person. Okay, I mean, in fact, if you make a comparison between Mahavir Jain and Gautam Buddha, I think Gautam Buddha would be a bit more practical. But this, especially this philosophy or this theory of Mahavir Jain is downright practical. There can be no two opinions about it. It is highly relevant even today. Okay, you will get to know the relevance of this once you know the meaning of this. Now, Anekantvad is theory of many sides. Mahavir Jain said it very clearly that there cannot be no objective reality. There can be no objective reality. Mane, there can be what is the meaning of objective reality? It means that we cannot ever say that this is the only way we can look at a particular thing. Or in other words, we cannot say that our opinion, okay, we cannot say that our opinion is the what? We cannot say that our opinion is the only correct opinion. There can be a lot of opinions. We cannot say that our opinion is the only correct opinion because there is no objective reality. What we consider to be correct may be incorrect, and what we consider to be incorrect may be correct. In fact, correct, incorrect, these are all affected by what? These are all affected by our own individual bias. So there is nothing called correct or incorrect according to Lord Mahavir. Everything is correct and everything is incorrect at the same place. Theory of many sides. Now I will give a small example. Okay? Or I can also explain this in this way. The same situation can be understood. The same situation can be interpreted by two different individuals in two different ways. If you take the example of two individuals who are looking at a particular situation, the situation is the same. The situation is the same, but both the individuals, okay, both the individuals will understand the same situation differently. Okay, are you guys getting me? Both the individuals will understand the same situation differently. Okay, they will look at the same situation differently. For example, let's say a person, okay, a boy has performed poorly in his examination. A boy has performed poorly in his matriculation examination. Okay, metric porikha olop beya hol. Let's say he did not perform as per his expectations. His marks were very low. Now, let's say two individuals went, okay, to his home to get an update about what is happening or to console him. Okay, two individuals, maybe his friends or someone else, or maybe the parents of his friends, they went to his home to console him. Okay, they went to his home to console him. Now, two individuals went to his home to console him. Now, both of them will have two different opinions about that boy. For example, the first individual will think that the boy could not perform well because he is not good in studies. He was anyway not good in studies, so he did not perform well. The first individual will arrive at a conclusion. For example, I'm just giving you examples. The first individual will arrive at a conclusion that maybe this boy was not good in his studies from before, so he did not perform well. The other individual may arrive at this conclusion that maybe this guy did not study nicely. Maybe this guy did not study nicely because of which he did not perform well or he could not deliver up to his expectations. So the same situation. Okay, what is the situation here? The situation is that a boy has performed poorly in his matriculation examination. But two different outsiders, okay, these two individuals are outsiders. Two outsiders have interpreted or they have looked at the same situation. Okay, they have looked at the same situation in two different ways. Two outsiders have looked at the same situation in two different ways. This is basically the alpha and omega, or this is basically the summary of Anekanvad, theory of many sides. There is no ultimate, there is no objective reality. The same situation can have multiple opinions, or the same situation can have multiple interpretations. It can be looked at, the same situation can be looked at in multiple ways, in so many different ways. This is a theory of many sides. So actually, theory of many sides, what does it attempt to say, or why it is important? Because theory of many sides, it actually makes us humble, because we tend to get arrogant, we tend to get pompous. Pomposity comes into us when we consider our opinion as the only correct opinion. All other opinions are wrong, my opinion is correct. Now if you start thinking like that, it will make you pompous, it will make you arrogant. There is no other opinion about it. On the other hand, if you take such an approach, if you consider that, okay, if you take such kind of an approach in your life, it will always make you humble. It will always help you earn the respect of others. If you start respecting their views also, if you start respecting their opinions also, and if you start reflecting on your own opinion, if you start questioning yourself, you are getting me? This time there was this question on, how can you apply the teachings of Buddhism in matters of environmental conservation? Next year there may be a question on how can you apply the teachings of Lord Mahavir in matters of life. So you can write all these things. It makes us humble, and arrogance is one of our biggest enemies. It is arrogance, it is egotism which doesn't allow us to make progress in our life, which stops us from doing so many things. Okay, so theory of many sides of Anekanvad is very, very important. It is extremely important in my eyes. Now, Anekanvadore eta part ase. Okay, there is another part of one of the most important parts of Anekanvad is Shadvad. What is Shadvad? One of the most important parts of Anekanvad. Now see, Shadvad, what did Mahavir Jain say? What did Mahavir Jain say under Shadvad? Now Mahavir Jain, what did he say under Shadvad? Mahavir Jain asked his followers, okay, this is also highly relevant. Mahavir Jain asked his followers, he asked his followers to do two things. He asked his followers to do two things before making a factual declaration. Okay, before making a factual declaration. A factual declaration is a declaration by announcement which we make based on facts. Factual declaration. Okay, factual declaration is a declaration or an announcement or a statement which we make based on certain facts. Factual declaration. So Mahavir Jain asks his followers to do two things. Okay, just two things before making a factual declaration. He asks his followers to do only two things before making a factual declaration. What is the first thing? The first thing is that he basically asks us to do what? He basically asks his followers to add two words before making a factual declaration. He asks his followers to add two words. One word is supposed to be added. One word is supposed to be added in the beginning of that factual declaration, and the other word is supposed to be added. And the other word is supposed to be added at the end of that factual declaration. Am I clear? One word is supposed to be added at the start of the factual declaration, and the other word is supposed to be added at the end of the factual declaration. Now, what is the word? What is that word which is supposed to be added before making the factual declaration? Mahavir Jain asks his followers to use the word Shad. See, which is why it is known as Shadvad. He asks his followers to use the word Shad before making the factual declaration. I mean, let's take the example of a factual declaration. Sun rises in the east. ঠিক আছে? Sun rises in the east. সূৰ্য পূবত উদয় হয়. Okay, sun rises in the east. It's a factual declaration. So Mahavir Ji ne ki kole je before making this declaration or before making this kind of a declaration, use the word shad. A declaration এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কথাবিলাক কোৱাৰ আগতে okay, shad বোলা শব্দটো সোমোৱাই দিয়া. Shad. আৰু factual declaration to শেষ হোৱাৰ পিছত use another word, that is ev. So shad and ev. Now what is the meaning of shad? Shad mane maybe. Maybe. And ev means what? Ev means if. Ev means if. So shador hobdor ortho ki hobo maybe. Khub সম্ভৱ. Okay? Boot koru. ঠিক আছে? Most probably shad. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, and in fact, if you guys have realized the word shayad, I think the word shayad has also come from the word shad. So maybe. And we have to end the sentence with what? With ev, which means if. Now, if you apply this logic, if you apply this rule in the sentence or in the factual declaration, which I just shared with you guys, it will sound something like this. Okay, it will sound something like this. How will it sound like? It will sound like, for example, maybe the sun rises in the east if ... Okay, maybe the sun rises in the east if ... See, this also makes us humble. Okay, what did we learn from this? How will it affect our life? It will not only make us humble, but it will also it teaches us to respect the opinion of others. Humility, it teaches us humility. Humility, see, these are small words, these are just words, but they have a deep meaning to them. Words like humility, they are very deep, and if you bring in this quality in your life, trust me friends, okay, trust me my dear students, it will what? It will better your life. Humility is a very big thing. And I find this teaching of Lord Mahavir Jain very astonishing and very fascinating because it teaches us to be humble. Humility. It's very tough. Okay, when you will earn a lot of money, humility is not something which will come to you easily. When you gain success after success, humility is not something which you will gain easily. But if you learn to be humble, even when you are getting a lot of success, even when you are attracting a lot of name and fame, if you learn to be humble even then, okay, if you learn to be humble even then, that is where your life becomes meaningful. That is where your life becomes happy. Otherwise, it will be all back to square one. Okay, so actually, these great personalities like Lord Mahavir, Gautam Buddha, actually, just learning about them is not enough. You have to implement their teachings in your life. Only then your life will get better. In fact, that is the sole purpose of education. Education would be meaningless if you do not implement what you learn. If you do not implement the good things you have learned in your life, how will your life get any better? And if your life does not get any better, why did you even get educated in the first place? Okay, it's not easy. I know it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. Even I'm a human being. Okay, it's easier said than done. But at least we have to make a try. At least we have to make an effort in the right direction. Okay, all it takes is an effort. So anyway, so in the field of philosophy, or Lord Mahavir's greatest contribution is Anekanvad, according to many historians. Anekanvad as well as Shadvad. Okay, now let's proceed further. Now see, there is one more thing in Jainism. Now we have to move a bit forward. A very great development took place in Jainism. A great development. See, this is important because we have to move forward now. We have to come to a time, we have to move forward to a time when Mahavir Jain is no longer there. Okay, he has died. Now Mahavir Jain is no longer there. But so when Mahavir Jain is no longer there, why do we even consider this incident as very important? Because it will have a long-term impact on the popularity of Jainism. It will take Jainism to a far-off place. This event which I am going to narrate now will take Jainism to a very distant place, and it will sow the seeds. It will sow the seeds for the propagation of Jainism, as well as it will lead to something else, as you guys shall see in some time from now. Okay, so the thing is that in around 305 BCE. So if we go by the Jain text, if we go by the Jain text, Jain ধৰ্মীয় গ্ৰন্থবিলাকে আমাক কিছুমান ইনফৰমেশ্যন দিয়ে। কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ইনফৰমেশ্যন? সেইসকল গ্ৰন্থই কয় যে চন্দ্ৰগুপ্ত মৌৰ্যই কি কৰিলে, চন্দ্ৰগুপ্ত মৌৰ্যই এটা সময় তেখেতৰ জীৱনত এনেকুৱা আহিলে। Who was Chandragupta Maurya? Chandragupta Maurya, as you guys all know, he was the founder of the Mauryan Emperor. He was the founder of the Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire আহিব age of Mahajanapadasৰ পিছতে আহিব Mauryan Empire. So আমি ইমানো আগলৈকে যোৱা নাই, আমি অলপ আগলৈ গৈছো। ঠিক আছে, আমি 305 মানলৈকে গৈছো। ঠিক আছে, now the thing is that Mauryan Empire ফাউণ্ডাৰৰ নাম কি আছিল? Mauryan Empire ফাউণ্ডাৰৰ নাম চন্দ্ৰগুপ্ত মৌৰ্য। So Jain text বিলাকে কয় যে চন্দ্ৰগুপ্ত মৌৰ্যই তেখেতৰ during the later part of his political career, তেখেতে কি কৰিলে? He became a Jain. Okay, during the later part of his political career, sometime towards the end of his political career, sometime towards the end of his political career, Chandragupta Maurya became a Jain, and he became a Jain monk. He did not just become a Jain, but he became a Jain monk, and he abdicated his throne. Okay, সিংহাসন ত্যাগ দিলে। Okay, সিংহাসনখন ত্যাগ দিলে Chandragupta Maurya. He abdicated his throne because he became a Jain monk. Now around that time, around 305 BCE, around this time, and as we all know, see, what was the epicenter of the Mauryan Empire? Mauryan Empire epicenter was Magadha. Okay, Mauryan Empire epicenter was Magadha. The only difference is during the age of Mahajanapadas. Age of Mahajanapadas or Homoyat, Magadha was a Mahajanpad, or Mauryan Empire or Homoyat, Magadha had become a province. Magadha was just a province. Mauryan Empire had many such provinces. Magadha was the most important province of the Mauryan Empire. Okay? সেইবিলাকলৈ আহিম মই। সেইকাৰণে আমি Mauryan Empire age of Mahajanapadas part বুলি consider নকৰো, কাৰণ it is the first empire of India. Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire is the first empire of India. Now কথাটো হ'ল, so Chandragupta Maurya কি কৰিলে? Chandragupta Maurya around 305 BCE manot Magadha, or obviously Mauryan Empire capital Magadha আছিল, no, because their capital was Patliputra. ঠিক আছে, so 305 BCE manot Magadha was affected. Magadha was badly affected by a devastating famine. Magadha was badly affected by a devastating famine. Magadha was badly affected by a terrible famine. Okay, খাবলৈ নাছিলে মানুহবিলাকৰ। তেতিয়া কি কৰিলে? When Magadha was affected by a terrible famine, Chandragupta Maurya, see, he had already become a Jain monk. Now he is a Jain monk. He is no longer an emperor. He is a Jain monk. Chandragupta Maurya, along with a few other Jain monks, okay, that is to say a group of Jain monks, okay, and Chandragupta Maurya was also a part of that group. A group of Jain monks, when Magadha was getting affected by a disastrous and severe famine, a group of Jain monks headed by, okay, that group was headed by the most important Jain scholar of that time. That group was headed by the most important Jain scholar, the most important Jain scholar of that time, by the name of Bhadrabahu. By the name of Bhadrabahu. Who was Bhadrabahu? He was the most important Jain scholar of that time. There was no bigger authority. There was no bigger authority on Jainism than Bhadrabahu during that time period. He was the most important and he was the most influential. He was the most towering scholar of Jainism at that point in time. And he headed this particular group of Jain monks. He was the leader of this particular group of Jain monks which decided to go to another place. So this particular group started its journey. Okay, this particular group began its journey. Okay, it began its journey and it finally reached a place by the name of Shravan Belagola. It finally reached a place by the name of Shravan Belagola. Okay, Shravan, S-H-R-A-V-N, Shravan, B-E-L-A-G-O-L-A, Shravan Belagola. It finally reached a place by the name of Shravan Belagola. Shravan Belagola. And where is Shravan Belagola located? Shravan Belagola is located. It is today located in the Hassan district. There is a district by the name of Hassan. There is a district by the name of Hassan, H-A-S-S-A-N. It is located in the Hassan district of Shravan Belagola is located in the Hassan district of Karnataka. Okay. Today Shravan Belagola is a part of Karnataka. So Shravan Belagola ki korile he group to that group of Jain monks. Okay, see, I'm not saying, I just said a group of Jain monks. Not all Jain monks, always remember this point, not all Jain monks who were living in Magadha. A few Jain monks. Okay, a group of Jain monks headed by Bhadrabahu. It decided to go to a place. It moved to a place called Shravan Belagola, which today is a part or which today is located in the Hassan district of Karnataka, Shravan Belagola. And it is in Shravan Belagola. And as we all know, Chandragupta Maurya was also a part of this group. And it was in Shravan Belagola, that Chandragupta Maurya, it was in Shravan Belagola that Chandragupta Maurya performed Saleh Khan or Santhara. Remember Saleh Khan or Santhara? Okay, the prescribed format in which an individual is supposed to die after he or she has attained Kevalya. Okay, there is this prescribed format. So, Chandragupta Maurya, he is believed to have performed Saleh Khan or Santhara in Shravan Belagola under the instructions of his Guru Bhadrabahu. Because this thing cannot be done alone. You need to be supervised. It's not very easy. It's a very complicated, it's a very stern process. So somebody has to supervise you. So he did this. He did this under the supervision of his Guru Bhadrabahu. He performed Saleh Khan or Santhara. So automatically when he did that, Shravan Belagola automatically became an important place in terms of religion. Okay, Chandragupta Maurya, obviously a king has performed Saleh Khan. Okay, now he was not a king, that's a different thing. But until a few years ago, he was the emperor, not just the king, he was the emperor, he was a founder of such a big empire, Mauryan Empire, Chandragupta Maurya. So obviously now that emperor has become a Jaina, and not just any normal Jaina, he has become a Jain monk, and after becoming a Jain monk, he performed Saleh Khan or Santhara. This thing is bound to have a ripple effect. This thing is bound to make that place where he committed that particular activity very, very popular. So Shravan Belagola automatically shot to fame with that particular incident. Another important outcome of this, you can say of this particular journey from Magadha to Shravan Belagola was that the ideas of Jainism also got spread. The ideas of Jainism were also circulated in South India. The ideas of Jainism reached South. Okay. The ideas of Jainism reached south, and you know the deep south, deep South Indian states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala are very they are very close to Karnataka. So how far would it take? How far would it take for the ideas to travel to deep South Indian states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu from Karnataka? So this is a remarkable event. Now Shravan-Belagola is also important for a different reason. Shravan-Belagola, see already it was popular because of Chandragupta Maurya's association with this place. Already it was popular. It was made even more popular. Shravan-Belagola was made even more popular in when? In 10th century. In 10th century CE. Shravan-Belagola was made even more popular in the 10th century CE. Now, what happened in the 10th century CE? In the 10th century CE, a very remarkable event happened. Okay, what exactly happened in the 10th century CE? In the 10th century CE, the Ganga rulers, okay, there was this ruling dynasty by the name of the Ganga dynasty. The Ganga dynasty of Karnataka. They were the rulers of Karnataka. It was a very important dynasty. Ganga rulers. Now, one Ganga ruler, okay, in around 10th century CE, he constructed a huge statue. This is one of the largest statues. He constructed this massive statue, massive statue, a huge statue of a person by the name of, okay, I hope you guys are following me. In around 10th century CE, so it's not a very ancient thing. Okay, it's not as ancient, or it is not as old as age of Mahajanapadas, because we have come much forward now. We have come to 10th century CE, much later. The Ganga ruler builds or constructs a huge statue of a person by the name of Bahubali. Okay, he constructs this huge statue of a person by the name of Bahubali. Okay, by the name of Bahubali. Now, who was this person? Okay, his full name was Gomateshwar Bahubali. Gomateshwar. His full name was Gomateshwar Bahubali. Okay, this was his full name. Gomateshwar Bahubali was his full name. His full name was Gomateshwar Bahubali. And he constructs this huge statue of Gomateshwar Bahubali in Shravan-Belagola. Now, who was this Gomateshwar Bahubali? Gomateshwar Bahubali, he was the son of Rishabdev. Remember Rishabdev, the first Tirthankara. Gomateshwar Bahubali was the son of Rishabdev, and obviously Gomateshwar Bahubali he's also much respected, much revered by the followers of Jainism. He also enjoys a very special position in Jainism, Gomateshwar Bahubali, which is why the Ganga ruler is building his statue, this massive statue, massive. I request you guys to check out this image, okay, to check out the image of this particular statue once the class is over. Please Google the image of this particular statue. Who was he? He was the son of Rishabdev. And this particular incident made Shravan-Belagola even more popular. In fact, it turned Shravan-Belagola into a pilgrimage site. Now, Shravan-Belagola is a pilgrimage site where people wear a very important festival, or wear a very important religious gathering by the name of Mahamastak Abhishek. Okay, a very important religious gathering by the name of Mahamastak Abhishek takes place every 12 years at the very site where this particular statue is located. And what happens in this festival? Believers of Jainism, followers of Jainism, they go to this particular place and they bathe this statue with milk, which in English is known as anointing. They anoint. Okay, they bathe or they pour milk on this. They pour milk on the statue of Gomateshwar Bahubali. This statue is so tall that stairs have been built all around the statue so that people can go to the top and pour milk on his head. This statue is so tall. Just check out the statue. Okay, where every 12 years a huge religious gathering, this is one of the most important pilgrimage centers for the Jain people. Every 12 years there is this religious gathering by the name of Mahamastak Abhishek that takes place every 12 years, where the people pour milk onto the statue of Gomateshwar Bahubali. Okay. On that note, I'm ending my today's class. I'll see you guys very soon in my next class. Okay, thank you so much.